Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we continue our stages in Lambda function. Today we'll talk about the configuration functions in the console. So in order to go there, you type Lambda, you find your function, you go there, and you'll find the configuration tab here. You just go to this configuration tab. Today's video just to go through a quick overview of what everything here is. And I will not go to too much details because my goal is to make live videos like from 2 to 6 minutes, so it will be easier for you to understand everything. So the configuration, configuring AWS function through the AWS Management Console involves several aspects or several steps. So first you create a function, and after that, when you create a function, or you can just choose an existing function, you will find you will find this tab, and you will find this tab, you'll find all of these things. First, we are in the general configuration, or like basic configuration. This is talk about the functions settings, like configure basic settings, like the functions name, runtime, which is Node.js, and the execution rule, and the IAM user. So as you can see here, we will talk in the future also about the memory, but it's different here. And after that, we have the triggers. So basically you can add a trigger, so like set up a trigger that will invoke your function, such as Amazon S3, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon SNS, or API Gateway. You could configure the specific event source settings, like specifying an S3 bucket and the type of event that will trigger the function. You will have also in the functions configurations, you have the memory and the timeout. You can see here this, you have the memory, and also you will have timeout, and you have environment variable. You can set environment variables also from the configuration. Also, we have the permissions. So the permission, you can add like a IAM user. Like in the permissions IAM user, like you can ensure your Lambda function has necessary permissions to interact with other AWS services. This managed through IAM rules and policies. You have resource based policies, like this one, which is like if your function needs to be involved by AWS services or applications, configure resource-based policies to grant the necessary permissions. You could also have there are monitoring and logging, but monitor and logging, you can see here, you can add permission if you want. You have the destination. So basically the destination is that, like, you can configure destinations for asynchronous invocation if you need. You have the also you have the VPC configurations. You have tags, you have environment variables, as we said before. The environment variables like that you need to add to your function. We have I guess we have here the function URL. You can create URL for your function. So basically you could configure a function URL to add a unique HTTPS endpoint for your function. You can configure a function URL on like the latest unpublished function version, or any function allies. We have we talk about environment variables. We want to talk about the tags. Basically you can add tags to your you can add tags. So basically tags are key value pairs that Lambda attaches to your function resources. You can use tags to organize Lambda functions into groups, or cost reporting and filtering in the Lambda console. Tags apply to the entire function, including all versions and allies. We have the VPC, which is a virtual private cloud. Like if your function needs network access to resources that are not available over the internet, you can configure it to connect to a virtual VPC. And if you don't understand like these things, I'm just trying to go through basic things about what these things are. We in the future we will try to edit them, go through them, and do all of that. You have monitoring and operations tool. So you can have like a CloudWatch integration, like Lambda functions automatically log to AWS CloudWatch configuration logging levels and destinations as need. You have metrics and alarms, like you can set up a CloudWatch metrics and alarms for monitoring your Lambda functions performance and error rates. You can have also we have I guess we can talk about the we have this thing also left. So we have the concurrency. So basically in the concurrency, let's go there. In the concurrency, like you can reverse concurrency for a function to set the maximum number of simultaneous executions for a function. Provision concurrency to ensure that a function can scale without fluctuations in latency. Reversed concurrency applies to the entire function, including all versions and allies. We have asynchronous invocations. So here, like you can configure asynchronous invocation, like you can configuring error handling behavior to reduce the number of retries that Lambda attempts or amount of time that unprocessed events state queue before Lambda discard them. You can configure a dead letter queue or to retain discard events. So yeah. So also we have the code signing here. So the code signing, like you can use signing with your function, configure the function to include a code signing configuration. So basically configuring code signing for Lambda, basically like code signing for AWS Lambda helps to ensure that only trusted code runs in your Lambda functions. When you enable code signing for function, Lambda checks every code deployment and verifies the code package is signed by trusted source. We have the here the RDS database. So basically here, if you want to connect with a specific database with RDS database or something, we would try to do it from here. Also, there are other ways to do it in the code, but today I'm just trying to show you everything in the console, because it's a good start. And after that, we try to go for more things like adding, making everything from the code. We have the file system, and the file system is just So the file system, you can connect your function to a file system. So you can configure functions to mount an AWS Elastic file system, like AWS EFS, to a local directory with Amazon EFS. Your function code can access and modify shared resources safely and high concurrency. The file system is behave like database, but it's different thing. The file system, I guess, is quite like you will not use it that much. Most of the time, you find yourself you're just connected with a database. You have the state machine. So basically, the state machine uses state machine to orchestrate and apply error handling to your function. And yeah, that's it. That's it basically in terms of the configuration section. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you guys in future problem.